Indeed, Siddarth Bhamre is with us, and as we speak, the market is now slipping off at 3 p.m. The 3 p.m. factor is playing out quite sharply. And in fact, Siddharth, good afternoon. First question, do you think 83.50 will hold now, or do you think this last 30-minute factor will now take market even lower than from where we are right now?
Good afternoon, Anuj. The open interest of FIs is quite low in this market, and generally in such kind of scenario it is futile exercise to predict which side the market would move in half an hour. And generally whenever you have seen that stronger hands have light positions in market continue to move in the direction what it has been throughout the days. So I don't feel that one should now expect some bounce back. During the day we were anticipating that probably from 84.20, 84.50 you might get some bounce, but that didn't materialize. But one should not anticipate any kind of bounce back in today's market from current levels.
Okay, 606 point lower now on the Sensex. The Nifty is now below 83.50. This is as ugly as it can get.
And it's getting ugly in Sydney as well.
350 point fall on the Bank Nifty. Siddharth, your view on that one? Bank Nifty, 2% lower at this point.
450.
Yeah, 18,200 was very crucial support. That has breached, and we have seen that despite Nifty reducing the open interest, which was long unwinding by stronger hands, but stronger hands have been forming short positions in Bank Nifty, and needless to say that components of Bank Nifty like ICICI, now even HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, SBI, they were also seeing formation of short position. So it doesn't seem that this index would show any respite anytime soon, unless and until there is a short covering trigger which comes into play. But there's no trigger as of now which is visible.
Okay, so Siddharth, where does the next support come in then for both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty? Does it come straight away now at the 200-day moving average? Because we're now trading below 100-day moving average comfortably.
Anuj, because we have gone, unidirectionally from 9,000 plus levels to current levels of sub 8,400, data won't play an important part in determining where the support comes, and you would have to now take help of technical analysis over here. And the gap which was created by Nifty a few months before, around 8320 odd levels, if that gap is getting filled, and there are probabilities that market would take support somewhere around 8250 and 8300 levels, around that level where a gap is there. So that can be the new support level. I don't think so there is any data which any derivatives guy would tell you that because of this data there is support at XYZ level. So it's more because of technical analysis we would say that 8250, 8300 is the next support for this market.
Okay, let's pull out a couple of stocks because this is now getting really ugly for the market. HDFC is now down 6%. ICICI Bank now down about 4%, has corrected 23% now from the top. It's really been a brutal fall for ICICI Bank that's leading to this decline. Siddharth, a word on HDFC. Is there just expiry factor? Would you buy it for a trade tomorrow or the next series? Because we normally say this kind of trade play out on HDFC on expiry day.
Anuj, if you look at, the losers in F&O stocks, top 25-30 stocks, if you look, more than 70% of stocks are all large cap Nifty stocks. This is clearly, institution-based selling which is happening. And generally when this happens, you don't see immediate bounce back in these very names. When FIs are unwinding so much, and it is quite possible looking at the global scenario that, they might start shorting in coming series, I won't take risk of preempting a buying situation in a large cap stock. So I would give a skip to buying any large cap stock at this point of time.
700 points and counting now on the Sensex, 200 point now on the Nifty, and 550 point fall on the Bank Nifty is what we have, and all this on back of low cash market volume. So that is also something that you have to keep an eye on.
Got exactly 7 stocks gaining on the Nifty, Anuj, and in that BPCL is up 3% today. That's the only one, because maybe benefiting a little bit from the crude recovery that we've seen. Otherwise, NMDC, Bharti Airtel, the 2 cement stocks, Ultratech Ambuja, GAIL and Hero Motor Corp, that is, are the only stocks, and gains are slim on most of them with the exception of BPCL, Bharti and NMDC. So there's really nowhere to hide, so to speak, in this market.
Indeed. Siddharth, what about Pharma? Do you think today, because we've seen expiry factor impact all stocks, is that a buying zone or buying opportunity? Maybe Sun Pharma, Lupin, or even that would fall now?
Some of the IT names then telecom, Bharti Idea, and pharmaceutical space. Here, some of the long-only funds who have compulsion to be invested in market can, reallocate some funds. Though we have not seen any fresh formation of short position, Anuj, in Pharma. Pharma in last 1 week has corrected, barring one of the day when there was a bounce. In that correction, healthy correction, we have not seen formation of short position. It was mainly long unwinding. So I believe if market has to continue to go down, Pharma may not perform this badly what it did in last 1 week. So I won't short Pharma at current levels.
What about stocks, in the FMCG space? For instance, it's been a brutal week for Hindustan Unilever, Siddharth. It's been a tough week for several IT stocks as well. You said stay away from large caps. You would include all of these as stocks that will continue to decline in the days to come?
No. Some of the names, like, we mentioned in beginning of this week that ONGC is what we are liking at lower levels between 310 and 305. That stock has good support. It is briefly trading below those levels. That is one stock which you would, think of going long at current levels. Then ITC we mentioned on Tuesday that around 325, 330 buy at current levels and sell 340, 350 call option, covered call writing. I think if HUL is correcting, ITC is not correcting much, and you would see some bounce in ITC. I'm not very upbeat on ITC, but some bounce. Then Infosys, range bound short strangle can be played over there. Not necessary that every large cap would go down and you have to play on the short side. Idea, Bharti are looking good. Probably, if there is a correction because of market sentiments, you can form long positions there.
Siddharth, today's the expiry falls on a day when there is turbulence around the globe. There's a crisis in Yemen, as a result of which markets worldwide have sold off. Has that made any difference to what's happened today, or would today have happened the way it has in any case?
No, I don't think so. It is when FI's position reduce in market, we are more vulnerable to what is happening globally. If FIs have long interest in this market, then we have seen in past, in immediate past, in fact, just last fortnight, if you see, there were very strong negative cues, but still India didn't corrected much because FIs were having long position. Now slowly, steadily in last fortnight, they have squared off huge amount of their long positions, and now we are vulnerable to what is happening globally. And that's the reason I'm saying that if global factors continue this way, there can be chances that FIs would come and start shorting this market. So I won't say that I'm not surprised because of this fall. Yes, of course the fall is quite huge, but then had it been that FIs were there, this wouldn't have happened. FIs are now moving out from their long position. I won't be surprised.
Last question, Siddharth. Are we going to win this match?
No.
Oh dear God, you sound more dismal about the match than the markets. Siddharth, thanks very much for joining us on Expiry Day as always. Siddarth Bhamre there.